Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the So I Heard podcast. If you guys are new to this, I'm KD, and of course, we have our other guest. Well, not guest, but co-host.
Hey, y'all. It's CeeLo.
Man, so we just got done watching this movie called Vacation Friends. It's a movie that's on Hulu. It has the comedian Lil Rel, and it also has John Cena in there. And what is the lady's name from Insecure? I forgot what her name is, but she's like Issa Rae's best friend on the show. She plays Molly, the character Molly. I forgot what her real name. Yvonne something.
Yeah.
She has like an African
Orgy
last name. Yvonne Orgy. But yeah, it was a funny movie. It was pretty good. So if you guys do have Hulu, check that out. Of course, it's a comedy. Hopefully, you guys are having a good one. Hopefully, you guys have been checking out the podcast episodes. This is number 19, ready for number 20. Don't really know what's going to happen to number 20. And as you guys know, it started off as a solo podcast, then moved on to being us two. And it's not like a podcast where we've had guests or anything, but there's a couple of people that said they did want to be on the podcast. My mom is one. Hi, Mom. I'm sure you're probably listening. And then Kiki said she wanted to be on it. And then I haven't really talked to anybody else to see if they did want to be on the podcast or whatever. But the setup that I do have is just for two mics. So if there was another guest, you know, we would kind of have to share at least one of these mics. And then, you know, just see how things are going to be. Mm-hmm. Most likely it will work out, you know. It's not going to be that much noise. I do have these mic stands now, so it'll probably be a little bit better. But anyway, on today's podcast, we are going to be talking about... What is it?
I'm trying to go to it. Do I read the whole thing? It's like...
No, you don't have to read the whole thing, but just kind of like a little bit of what it is. Yeah.
Today we'll be talking about things we value in life, things we struggle with, and things we could fix on.
Speak in the mic.
I thought I was.
No, it was pointed up though, so it shows that it was kind of low.
Okay, so just edit that out. So today on the podcast, we'll be talking about things we value in life, things we struggle with. If you could fix things that you struggle with, would you want to? And where do you hope to go in life? So it's a pretty heavy topic. You guys do some real thinking.
I mean, it ain't gonna be super heavy. We ain't gotta get into like no deep dark secrets or nothing like that. Well, I don't know. I doubt that's what it is. Ain't like we some shady ass people or anything like that. But
damn, I wasn't even thinking of no deep dark secrets.
But still, I don't know who you want to go first or me go first about certain stuff that we value in life. I mean, okay. So let's just talk about like, you know, valuing certain stuff in life. Normally we do have like a podcast topic, something that I kind of came up with, you know, that's from social media, something that I noticed, or the past couple of podcast episodes we did just kind of have a conversation and then we kind of work our way into some of the topics. But honestly, in the past couple, we just been having like such a good conversation to the point where we kind of do forget what the main topics are going to be. But in this one, we're going to try to have it a little bit more organized and different stuff like that. At least just for this part, we still can have our conversation and our good laughs and everything like that. But valuing certain stuff in life, I think it's something that maybe people don't really think about that deep. You know what I mean? We kind of just think of our day to day with it being like, oh, okay, like I'm pretty much just trying to accomplish certain stuff within that day. I mean, yeah, people have their long-term goals and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, most of us are just living day by day, just trying to get through whatever it is. And yeah, like we might not sit there and really think about what we do value in life, or, they always ask you that question. I think like they ask you in school, or, you talk to certain people, where do you see yourself in 5 years and all that different stuff. And some people are good at having all that organized and really sticking to whatever these goals are and, getting it accomplished. For me personally, dude, I think and this is going to be a part of the podcast, us kind of talking about certain issues that I think we do want to fix. For me, I don't know why I feel like every time everybody used to ask me that question, I'd be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I really had this set goal of what I wanted to do. It was certain stuff at different times. I was like, oh, that would be cool to do or whatever. And then, in recent years, it kind of got into me wanting to do something that's different. I look at some people and they have this goal of really wanting a certain 9 to 5. And I'm like, really? I mean, because as far as I know, most people, even if you have a good job, a good paying job, normally they still hate their 9 to 5. You know what I mean? They get tired of it. I know of a lot of people that had great jobs. They graduated from universities and everything. And at the same time, they were just like, yo, I don't really want to do this job anymore. So now they're starting businesses and, doing different stuff that didn't really have to do anything with their schooling or, whatever job that they previously had. But yeah, dude, I do want to get better with setting goals and sticking to them and really having this long-term idea of where I want things to go. I don't know if you guys are good with that, but for me, I'm not so good with it. I've been doing cool with this podcast and different stuff like that. Like any of the stuff that I've wanted to do, I've pretty much been liking to do it and kind of been trying to stick to it. Like my YouTube stuff, I need to get better with that and really stick to creating that content and putting it out if that's what I also want to do, including, also alongside with this podcast. But for you, what do you feel like? Like, what do you feel like? We didn't even really get into what we value in life, but just off of what I said, like, how do you feel?
Like with things that I want to work on or stick with? Yeah,
work on or like, goals or anything like that.
Well, honestly, right now, my goal is just to complete school. Just because I've been doing it for so long and struggling with it. So I know it's kind of like a cliche goal, but because I've never really thought about being like something else outside of a 9 to 5. Yeah, I do think about it now because you mention it often. But yeah, I think my thing is just mainly to complete school, and I am optimistic about like looking into different endeavors as far as like maybe I'm not closed-minded to starting my own business or being creative in my own way or something like that. But I just don't know what creative route I would take. But also I just want the school so I could just have like a little security just in case, you know, while I'm still trying to figure out what I want. I could still be making some decent money and still having a good time on the side too. And then if that takes off, then hey, good, But yeah, I think my main goal right now is just because we talked about this earlier today, honestly, about school and everything and how I'm kind of like how I am so close to almost being done and everything like that. So yeah, honestly, I would say like that's my main focus or my biggest goal.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have a conversation about that earlier. And I think it is good. And it's not like, just because I'm saying like I'm kind of tired of the 9 to 5 type of stuff. Of course, it's not like I'm going to be that person that's just, some people kind of just do the I'm going to drop everything and then just go into exactly what I want to do. Like, no, of course, I'm still going to be working this 9-to-5 job that I do have. And then also alongside just doing this other stuff. And some people do it and it works for them. Like, I've seen some YouTubers and they kind of tell their backstory and they're just like, you know, they kind of were doing this. Like, it's a guy that I watch. He does like photography and videography. His name is Peter McKinnon. He's on YouTube. And he had like a good job and he was kind of tired of his job. So he started doing wedding photography and then, you know, photography shoots for, you know, different stuff. And then got into doing videography. And then, of course, has a very successful YouTube channel now. And it's like, dude, he was able to just walk away from his job. And now he's more successful than he's ever been. And there's some other YouTubers that's pretty much happened to. Also, you know, it's a lot of YouTubers that were once going to school, dropped out of school, and completely became these YouTubers, and they're successful as hell. Now, I'm not saying, you know, for everybody, just go and drop everything and try to do whatever it is. Like, these people were going hard. They put in so much hours and everything like that, and it worked out for them. You know what I mean? If you're going to go hard, the main thing for me, I think, especially with a lot of this stuff, is you only live one life, right? So a lot of people spend so much time just trying to do the regular 9-to-5 stuff. And at the end of it, it's like, man, I really was working all these years. Like, you even hear older people saying it, and they're like, yeah, I was just working all these years. But an older tradition for a lot of people is to basically just go to school and then just work until you're like way up in your, not way up, but you're like in your 60s or something. And then you finally retire. And I think that way of thinking is a little bit old now because people were able to start businesses, you know, earlier than where we are right now. But at the same time, it's so much easier now to start any type of business.
Yeah, because now we have social media, and social media really wasn't that popping back then, I guess, are accessible. Is that the word?
Yeah, or they didn't even have social media.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't even email. They was writing letters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You have some people. I was watching a show where a lot of these people, they ended up becoming like, I guess you kind of call it like social media chefs or something like that. It was a show that I saw that had E40 on it. It was like different episodes or whatever. And some of these people are actually just cooking food that they love to cook. They're posting it on social media and they're selling plates of these food of the food, and then they're starting an actual business. And that's just one thing with food, but like people are making, you know, t-shirts, people are doing, you know, I've seen some people make like jewelry and stuff. They're posting it, you know, even some people, like something that you like is people doing hair. And, you know, it was at one point where it's like they're probably just doing their friend's hair and that was pretty much it.
Now, for me, that's something that I feel like I could have been good at if I would have kept practicing and working on my craft. I believe I could have really been good with that. And
you do hair good.
And I could have went further with it. Like if I was like really into it, paying attention and doing all that stuff, I could have probably had like a good clientele to the point where I could have had probably my own little salon or something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy because I know this girl, like I forgot. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in years, but she was just starting doing hair, I think, when I met her or whatever. And like, I think now she has like this big business doing hair. And then like, you know, I think I only got to add it on Facebook or whatever, but it's like, dude, she's traveling the world and everything. But she's still doing the hair stuff, but it's like now she's built this cool company. You know what I mean? And, that's all it is with everything. You know, you just got to stick to it. You got to have whatever that goal is and then stick to it. And, you know, people get discouraged or other stuff happens in life. And then it's like, you know, you can kind of drift off from this stuff. But, of course, like they always say, if you want anything to be great, you got to put in that hard work.
Yeah, that's true. You got to work on your craft.
Yeah, and one thing for me, another thing that I want to fix is in certain things I'm competitive. I was watching something earlier. Oh, so today is the day we're recording this. It's actually August 29th now. But yesterday, August 28th, I was watching something about the YouTuber Jake Paul. He's going to be fighting Tyron Woodley, which was, a UFC fighter or a mixed martial arts fighter. So they're going to have a fight later on tonight on August 29th. And they were doing the Showtime show, kind of like showing, their road to the fight or whatever. And Jake Paul, which his brother is also Logan Paul, the one that fought Floyd Mayweather, they were talking about how their whole life they were just trained to be so competitive. They've talked about it a lot in different videos and everything. They were basically like their father raised them to be competitive. And we know of a lot of successful people that were raised to be that way. One, definitely Michael Jackson. He was raised to be successful at an early age,
Hell
but then you have a lot of actors and stuff. You didn't even realize they started off so early. And yeah, it was just like him talking about how competitive he was. They played tons of sports. They were very, very good. Logan Paul was like the best wrestler when he was a teenager in the whole state. Now, that's crazy as hell. Like, a lot of people can't say that.
What state is he from?
They're from Ohio.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like, still, it's like, how many people can really say that they were the best in the state? Even if you meet somebody that was the best in the city, you're like, oh, that's still dope.
Right, but the whole state?
The whole state. And the fact that, they have all these trophies that were shown in, the Showtime episode. And it was just like they were so competitive. And they said for years, they were competing with each other because they were doing Vine, they were doing YouTube and different stuff. So, with them having their own channels, they were very, very competitive with each other. And that's what made them successful and what they are today. And I think we talked about in another episode, dude. What was I about to say? Oh.
I was like,
I got stuck for a second. I was really sitting there just staring off.
My mouth was wide open trying to think like, wait, what was he talking about?
But Jake Paul, we talked about in another episode about how much Jake Paul is worth at the age of 24. He's worth $20 million. And that's a lot. And we were just like, yo, like at that age, 24, being worth $24 million, and the amount of money he's about to make from the fight tonight, which they're already saying he might be making the amount of money in this fight that's somewhat close to what Logan Paul made in the Floyd Mayweather fight. That's a crazy amount of money.
Hell yeah.
That's a lot of money. And 24 years old and you have that much, you know what I mean? But they did work for everything. But the thing I was trying to say was sometimes I wish I was a little bit more competitive. Yeah. I kind of have this personality of, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Some stuff I might be competitive in, but at the same time, I don't really look at people's lives and compare it to mine and think, I have to be this very, very competitive person to, whatever they have or whatever they're doing. I'm kind of like, I'll just stay in my own lane. And I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with competitiveness because it does push you a little bit harder. So I was thinking about that earlier today when I was watching the thing, and I was like, damn, maybe, I would want to be more competitive. Like you have YouTubers or podcasters that are really out here, not just YouTubers and podcasters, but people doing anything. And they're really like, I want to be the best at that.
Do you think instead of saying more, like you wanted to be more competitive, you think the better word is motivated or?
Yeah, motivated, but that's what I'm saying. That form of motivation, I think would probably help
like push you a little more.
Yeah, because, I watch so many YouTubers or I listen to, not a lot of podcasts, but I'll check out some podcasts and stuff. And then I really think like, what would make it, would make me better? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we don't have this big ass production team. We don't have all these people here or nothing. It's just the computer and us talking, and that's pretty much what we have. But at the same time, some people have just that, and they're successful as hell. another thing, like even with YouTube, like, man, I have so many different cameras, but there are some YouTubers that literally have millions of subscribers, and all they do is record from their phone.
Oh, really?
And that's all they do is record from their phone, post these videos. Some of them even say that they just edit the videos on their phone, which I was doing for a while also. And that's just what they do. They don't have like these big cameras and all this different stuff. And people love their content. And
yeah, because you got a lot of cameras and
you call it gadgets. I
do. I didn't want to say that.
But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like sometimes you feel like you have to have all the latest and greatest stuff to do whatever. And I understand it does make, you know, the work a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, one thing that a lot of YouTubers do end up saying is just get started with whatever you have and just keep posting. And I have to tell myself that, because sometimes it's like right now I have 2 videos recorded and I'm kind of like, damn, was that enough good content? And I have to really sit there and edit the videos.
I was wondering when you was going to put those out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just edit it tomorrow and then try to have it come out for Monday, which is going to be the 30th. So it'll be tomorrow the 30th, because, you know, it's after midnight now. So, yeah, see what I can come up with that. And it's like sometimes I'm second guessing myself or whatever, but I think I have to really have my mindset on, no matter what, still try to reach that goal. It's some YouTubers that really put out a damn episode every day. There's some YouTubers that have been doing it for years and they do their daily vlog. And it's like, bro, you really put out a video every single day. Now, the difference is a lot of YouTubers that do that, they have someone that records the video for them, you know, like a camera person, and they also have like an editor or something. I don't know of anybody that's really just doing everything by themselves that are really doing daily vlogs, because I think that's just crazy. Even the people that have a team of people, most of them stopped or took breaks from doing daily vlogs because they feel like it was just way too much, way too draining. They have to come up with everything that they want to do. They got to be up early, do it by a certain time, and just all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, because some of them, they wake up at like 6 o'clock,
4 o'clock in the morning, and just
start
and just be recording all the way until the nighttime. And it's like,
I mean,
damn.
It is kind of like a job. If you're that dedicated to it, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Especially like if you go out and stuff, like, and people like to see that. Some people, if they get really invested in your vlogs, they want to see you from when you get up until you basically call it a day and turn it off. They want to see what you're cooking and all of that stuff.
I mean, and I have to think about that too. That's why it was like, I was also thinking like, maybe I should just record even the little things, because this is stuff that people can relate to, I guess. You know what I mean? Even if you go to a restaurant and order a certain something, they're like, oh, I like that. You know what I mean? I get that. Or I've never tried that. Maybe I should try it.
We go to a restaurant, or you go to a restaurant that they've been to and they didn't know that they had that, or was kind of curious.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, that's just something to think about, just to kind of keep everything going and keep everything, like, be more motivated. Damn, what was I saying? But yeah, just something to keep things going. So those are a couple of things. The main thing for me is I don't want to be that person. And even though I am working a 9 to 5 that I really don't be wanting to go to,
me too.
Still at the at the end of the day, I want to do something that I really enjoy, and something that I feel like I'm like, oh, okay, that's my thing. You know, you can always go to a 9 to 5, but you're really working for somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to do what they say and all this different stuff.
And you have to work amongst other people.
Yeah, a bunch of other people. You got heads clashing because, you know, you got some people that don't want to do what they want to do. They don't want to be accountable for certain stuff. Just all kind of different work-related issues. And also, it's more special when it's something that you really built. That's why, like, with this podcast, I love doing this podcast. And that 1 week where I did miss the day, I ended up putting out 2 episodes that 1 week because I was like, yo, I can't be slacking on it. And I try to make sure I always get these episodes. Well, I have been getting these episodes out for every Monday. So like I said, this is episode 19.
Pew, pew, pew.
So that's pretty much 19 weeks that I've been doing this podcast. And it's been fun doing it. I've been enjoying it, even though that's not that many episodes compared to some bigger podcasts that are like in the hundreds. Still sticking to it. I've enjoyed it so much because there's some other podcasts. I'm not trying to put anybody down or anything, but I know of some podcasts that people started and, they didn't make it past episode 5. And that already I feel is an accomplishment because I could have really just been on some slack and stuff and really just messed up so much. And the real reason why I missed it that 1 week was because we just weren't feeling good. It
was a holiday.
Yeah, but you remember we were like sipping and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, it was a holiday.
Yeah. But it was still, I was like, yo, I wanted that episode out, but yeah. So anyway, I really didn't want to miss it, and I don't want to miss anymore. I want to have everything come out on Mondays and just stick to that and just make that a goal, and also make a goal of really pushing everything that I'm doing. I feel like that I do promote a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, sometimes while I'm promoting it, I'm like, damn, I could do so much more. Like, I really need to get it out there. I really need to try to push this stuff so much, even with some stories of celebrities and stuff, they were saying that they promoted stuff early on that they were doing so much to the point where they were like, yeah, I know I'm annoying people, but at the same time, you guys can't ignore it. I'm posting it so much. I'm showing it so much, that you guys just can't ignore it. And then you guys finally go and look at it or, go to the website, watch whatever, listen to whatever. And I think I might need to be at that level to really get this stuff out there and make this a big thing that I do want it to be. You know what I mean? Because obviously I don't want to just keep doing this podcast and leaving it at the same level. Everything is about growing, and that's just where I want everything to go. So, yeah.
You can still, you don't have to be too hard on yourself, I'll say. You're doing good. Like you said, you could have stopped a while back. Yeah. But you're doing good. You're consistent. You still doing it, motivated. So still give yourself a clap on the back and a round of applause. You're still doing
Thank you. No, it's not like I'm saying like I'm being hard on myself, but I'm just thinking of ways to push it to the next, level or whatever. And I think that's it. Like, I think the main thing that I've kind of just been slacking on is doing my YouTube stuff. There was a point where I felt like I was really recording a cool amount and getting videos out like every week and stuff like that. But then it's like, I don't know, man, like really with COVID and all this different stuff, it's like, it's been so hard to kind of figure out what to do,
because it's so hard to find things, and things close early.
And then another reason, like even with the video that we recorded that I have sitting on my camera, I was like, damn, I want to put that out because it is some stuff that happened in there that's a little bit different. But at the same time, I've put out so many videos. It's kind of like us cooking food, us chilling and having our drinks and stuff already, that I'm like, damn, like, I don't know if I want to, I don't want it to, that too. I don't want it to seem like, you guys are just getting the same content. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at all these people that, like I said, the people that made it, they're doing all these different things. But like I said, stuff is still kind of weird in, the city and everything. So you can't just go out as much as you used to. You know what I mean? You can't do everything that you used to. Some places are closed down still.
What about doing a compilation?
Of what?
Of, how they do like photo dumps on Instagram and stuff like that. So what about if you feel like the content is kind of the same and you want to just switch it up, and then if for whatever reason you need to clear up space but you got like a good shot of whatever, so you could just take that and put it in with this day and put it in with that day.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know what you mean. So like, that's what I was saying. The YouTuber I'm always telling you about, David Dobrik, that's how his videos are.
Oh, okay.
So he takes multiple days And I think all his videos, he has it at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I think I told you this before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just puts all those different days, like just different parts together
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it's like, you know, my vlogs are like a story kind of. It's like from point A to B,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's showing just one day, like all the way in order, you know what I mean? From a certain time until like nighttime or whatever. And that's just how it goes. Like linear, I guess that's the word. But yeah, I mean that would be cool because like I said, my videos are longer than 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if I just throw stuff together, I think I just need to learn how to edit that properly and how to come up with that to make it a good thing. And I'm sure it can happen.
Yeah, it can.
I just probably need to sit down and think about how to put that together. Yeah, I don't know. I'm constantly kind of thinking about how to do this stuff. And some people look at it and they're like, man, like, how do you do that? And, you know, they're really like interested in it. And at the same time, I'm like, damn, like, I'm really just sitting here learning. You know, some people might be amazed by it, but it's like, yo, you're still learning and trying to figure everything out. And I feel like that's where I am, just really trying to figure all this stuff out still.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least they're not saying like, oh, you're an amateur, you need to do this and do that.
Or
and
like
this
it's
and that.
horrible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it hasn't been anything like that, you know. And then I'm not even like closed-minded to criticism. Somebody had left something on Instagram. Probably, you know, one of the listeners, one of you guys, and you guys basically said that we kind of need to stick to a format or a topic a little bit better, but you guys still said, you know, we're doing a good job and everything. I think it's just like I said in the past couple of episodes, it really was like us having our just like these open conversations. But I do like that still. I still like having those open conversations because it does make stuff interesting. You know what I mean? And you guys get more of our personality, I feel, than just sticking to some type of format fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, what's some other stuff that you have been interested in? You know, I mean, I know you said like the hair and different stuff like that, but is there anything else?
Doing hair, clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of want to, used to want to be a stylist.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not really a girly girl like that, but I like girly girl stuff. But me personally, I'm not a girly girl.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, like, I like that type of world, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But for me personally, I wouldn't do it, but I would take an interest into learning about it, like applying makeup. And even though I don't wear makeup, like I would be fine doing that, like a makeup artist for somebody, doing their hair, finding their clothes and picking out their outfit. Because if I could do that, and then it just makes their whole personality just like pop, I'll be like, yeah, you know, I just like to be comfortable and casual, you know, but I still got some taste up there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about that. I thought about a whole lot of stuff, like real estate.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Everything. Like, I really thought about a lot of stuff. But the stuff that I think of is like the stuff I feel everybody thinks of. And then I know it's other stuff out there that I haven't probably been exposed or introduced to, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of think about I guess it's like the surface level of, like, if you don't want a traditional 9-to-5, you can do this. And everybody thinks about real estate, hair, fashion, you know. Yeah. I guess a lot of boutique stores opening up nowadays. Yeah. But I just know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, yeah, everybody is doing that, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it also. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically that's about it, because I do think, like, of what you said about not working the 9-to-5 all the time and dealing with people and everything like that. It would be nice to set your own hours and hire the people you want and do what you want to do and everything, and be on a vacation and having somebody else set your company while you making money on the vacation, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like with that, you have to have a good headset, like a mind frame, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to have people in your corner that's there to help you. And I feel like what a lot of entrepreneurship, I guess is the word, when you do that, people fail. And I think my biggest thing is I really don't like to fail because I will give up quick. And and by becoming an entrepreneur, you have to invest. You have to put a lot of money and all that type of stuff into it.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, sometimes it's not going to be a smooth sail. Sometimes it will be a rocky road ahead of you. And I kind of don't really like that. So that's why I kind of feel like I'll stay more on, let me go get this degree. And then if anything, I could always fall back on it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Even though I feel like a hell of a lot of times with the school stuff. But, yeah, I think that makes sense. But
no, yeah, it made sense. I mean, at least me listening to it made sense. If you guys need to rewind it and see, I don't know. I mean, it made sense to me. You know what I mean? But some people pick it up a little bit slower. I'm not calling y'all slow. I'm not.
Yes, you did.
I promise I'm not. But no, it definitely made sense because I feel like that's the same thing with me. That's why I say, like, sometimes I hesitate to, edit these videos or whatever, because I'm like, damn, what if it just ain't where I want it to be, or, I don't like it or whatever. And one thing.
Plus, I'm an overthinker, so.
Yeah, me too in certain ways. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, damn, like, I know I have this content, or like sometimes like we'll have days and it's like, oh, what are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And some of those days I'll think about it later and I'm like, damn, we could have at least tried to do something to create something or whatever, you know what I mean? Like try to do something different, or, I don't know. Like a lot of times I feel like I am watching stuff or reading stuff that's like trying to get me motivated for whatever. But at the same time, it is about applying the stuff, not just watching it and soaking in all that information, but also applying it. And sometimes you do get discouraged and you're like, damn, like, you want it to be good, of course, you know what I mean? And you might not even notice that other people are interested in whatever you're doing, and they're viewing it and they're like, man, I want to just keep saying more and more and more. And you're over here overthinking everything. And they don't really care about whatever you put out.
They just want to know when it's the next episode coming out.
Yeah. And like I said, I watch a lot of YouTubers. I watch a lot of podcasts, like episodes or interviews and stuff. I really love watching them because it always shows like how these people are thinking. And, they always give like some type of success story. And also not just the success part, but they show like, they talk about like the struggle and everything and what was going through their mind at that time. And, it's so many people that were like, they learned that the video that they really, well, as for YouTubers, they feel like the video that really didn't matter the most to them, it was just a random video that ended up taking off. And then, it brought in more and more people. Like there's a lot of artists that came up with music, and their most popular song at whatever time or in the beginning was a song that they really didn't even like.
Yeah.
I think about that with YG so much because YG's main song when he first started that made him popular was Tooted and Booted. And he says he hate that song. YG says he hates that song. Yeah. He used to hate performing it.
I can see it now, especially looking at him now, and then I forgot all about that song, honestly.
Yeah, but it's over time, and like I said, like he moved on to better stuff, but he said it would be concerts where, they want him to do the encore, so he got to perform it again, and he's just like, man, I don't like this song, and it's a lot of people that have said that, and they try to move away from that, but still put out some good content because, you got a fan base. You want to put out something that the original fan base did like, but you need to grow at the same time.
And he did a good job at growing from it because I forgot all about that song.
He did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I forgot about Tooted the Booted too, but sometimes when I think about what he said, I'm like, damn. Like, yeah, like, it was different times. The music was a little bit different.
Yeah, that was early YG after the mixtape.
That was like...
Was it his first album?
That wasn't even on the album.
No, that wasn't a mixtape.
That was just a single.
Oh, that was a single.
Yeah, it wasn't on his first album because his first actual... he had a couple of mixtapes. excuse me. But at that time, it was like the jerker movement, and that's what he was doing, the jerking music, and that's what Tooted and Booted was. And then, you know, he kind of got into the newer age of gangster rap and stuff.
You know how to jerk?
Huh?
You know how to jerk?
A little bit. Certain dances, I guess, you know. You know, I was going to the parties and stuff, tried to wear the skinny jeans before, and I couldn't. You couldn't put nothing in them pockets.
Hell no. I used to have 2 different colors. I think I had a turquoise pair and... Damn, was it yellow or something like that? But yeah, I was in there jerking. Yeah. Had my Vans on. I was like, oh, cool. They finally made a dance that I could do.
Oh, got my Vans on, but they feel like sneakers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was just so much going on at that time.
Yeah, it was a lot. That was a good little era.
Skinnier and skinnier for men and women.
Yeah. Now they just... yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you just have to grow from whatever you created. And, you know, even though it might be something that you didn't know was going to pop off or it wasn't that important to you and that one thing, but people really liked it, just go from that and then build on from it. And these are all things that I always even have to, you know, tell myself and try to really stick to that stuff. And, you know, sometimes it is hard because you're second guessing, you know, you're overthinking stuff like you said. And you're sitting there like, damn, you want to create something that's good. You want to create something that's great. But at the same time, you're like, man, maybe it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the main thing that I do struggle with is trying to put out something that I feel is great and put out something that I feel like everybody else is going to think is great. And just like with this podcast, like I feel like we talk about a cool amount of stuff. And I think like that's where the structure part is good because people might click on it and then they're like, okay, here's a topic I can stick to. Or like, but any other podcast, no, never mind. Let me just stick to what I was saying because I was just about to second guess what I was saying. Mm-hmm. So doing that format is better because now you have one thing to focus on. You have just straight conversation to focus on. It's not all over the place and everything like that. But at the same time, what makes podcasts also interesting is people showing more and more of their personality because people are like, oh, okay, like cool. And, you know, like even when I'm trying to think of it like as me being a listener or the viewer, when I listen to podcasts or watch interviews and stuff, I like to see these artists, these actresses, whoever, whatever they do, I like to see them really be themselves, you know, and then you learn so much about these people that you never knew. Mm-hmm. And it's just so interesting. And I feel like that's what a lot of people like, you know, watching.
I could agree with that, especially when it comes to celebrities, because back then, before vlogging and stories and all this stuff, the only way we could keep up with celebrities was like the E! Network. What was it, like VH1 and stuff like that? We didn't really couldn't watch
have
it.
Like a little bit of a like interview little, or something,
like MTV Cribs and stuff that. But now, like you can actually like, oh, they go live. What? You can go live with them.
Oh yeah.
You could say something. You could tell that they saw it. Like you could DM a celebrity and then you could see that they seen it. You like, you know, you kind of feel like, oh, they see my shit. You know, like But at the end of the day. That it's a downside to that. I think we talked about that on the other topic too. I mean, the other podcast too. They get really crazy about that too and start doing crazy stuff.
Oh,
fans.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I could kind of understand that, but I kind of forgot my train of thought.
Oh, that's cool. You was talking about how people could just kind of put their stuff so.
Oh,
you know, put it out there so
like
easily.
Yeah, so easily. And then, like, I get it because I have celebrities, and then when I see that they go live, I'll kind of, like, tune in for a little bit and be like, oh, what they doing? And then you be like, oh, they just chilling, doing some regular stuff that I'll be doing if I was going live with my boyfriend or, like, my homegirl. Like, and then you be like, oh, they really are regular people. They just got money. Like, it's nothing that they doing different. They just got a little bit more money.
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody could pretty much get to that level. You know what I mean? These people had regular jobs. And a lot of times, you know, you'll ask somebody, I mean, in these interviews or podcast episodes, they'll ask somebody, what were you doing before you were famous? And a lot of them, you know, they worked at regular little retail jobs or, you know, they were at restaurants or something like that. And, you know, they basically just started going from there and building up their brand or whatever. And now they're successful with millions of subscribers or anything.
Yeah, like
who?
Sepacent.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
She was a waitress, and now she a millionaire, multimillionaire. I remember her company. She's she has makeup, and it's called The Crayon Case. And I think it was on, I don't know, probably like a few years back on Black Friday. Her company sold $1 million on Black Friday.
That's crazy.
And then from then on, she blew up.
Yeah.
New Orleans. I was crazy. Like, God damn.
And that's crazy too. And that's something that, like, man, I really look at that and I'm like, I remember some people, you know, they started out and then it's like their stuff just went so crazy. And it's kind of like you just seen them grow, you know, into wherever they are now. And it's like, it's inspiring as hell. But at the same time, like I said, still, you second guess yourself or you overthink certain stuff. And it's like, dude, you can be there too. And like I said just a little minute ago, like I have to still tell myself this stuff also. Like you could just grow to whatever. As long as you just keep pushing and you have that goal of making whatever you're doing the best, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like me wanting to be more competitive and be like, all right, I want this to be the best thing. I want this to be great and all this stuff. I think I just have to get out of that mindset of just being like, oh, okay, I'm creating stuff. Hopefully you guys like it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. And also like not trying to pressure anybody and being like, oh, y'all gotta like my stuff or getting mad if people give me some type of criticism.
Right.
No, I'm not trying to get to that level at all. I really want you guys to give the criticism so I could just build off of that. But yeah, I do want this stuff to be greater. I want it to be better. I got to think of more ways to, I guess, change it up every so often so it doesn't become stale. Keep with these interesting topics, and hopefully you guys do find these topics interesting. It's not like we're getting into these conversations where it's like crazy stuff and we're putting out all these secrets or whatever, like we're on here bashing people or anything like that, because you know they do have some stuff that's out there like that and people tune in for it, but we try to just keep
drama,
stuff
it's not like a really drama felt podcast.
We try to keep stuff positive and kind of, I guess, like
we try to discuss what basically like young adults our age will be thinking or going through.
Like inspiring you guys, but also at the same time inspiring ourselves. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, honestly, we get into some of these conversations and I'm like, damn, I never really thought about it that way. But in the conversation, I was able to talk about it so freely or whatever. And it's like, yo, I never really voiced this stuff before. And I think it's so interesting and also like therapeutic when you really get into the conversations, because it's like,
it's like,
oh, okay, you unleashing some stuff. You know?
It's kind of like you having a therapy session with the microphone.
And it's just us, and it's not like we're, you know, we got somebody else here like coaching us and trying to dig into us, you know, to get us to say this stuff
with a notepad writing notes down.
What do you write? What's that?
Right.
But yeah, like it really is just like really getting into a conversation, a deep conversation, and kind of, I guess, getting into perspective about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and realizing like it's nothing wrong with how you feel, how you think, and I kind of had to get used to that. Like, I honestly felt, I don't know why, I guess it is true. Like, you just, when you're younger, you just expect yourself to be so far along when you get that age. Because I just knew by the time I turned 25, I was going to be finished with school. I was going to be saving up. I was going to have me a house by the time I was 30. I was going to find me. Only thing that did happen that I wanted in my life, I did find love, which is you, obviously.
Oh, you so cute. You gonna throw that in the episode. Look at you trying to gang me up.
Because I did say, like, if I did want to have kids, I wanted to have kids before I turned 35.
Okay.
And I wanted to be with somebody for a good time before I did decide to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do that whole, like, just us, then we move in, and the whole shebang. First love, marriage, y'all know the rest.
Yeah.
And all of that. So, but out of everything that I told myself I was going to have, I guess love won. And now I'm just like, okay, well, shit. Like, I feel so behind. Like, all right, well, I got this. I got to hurry up and do this because pretty soon, little KJ going to be here. And your mama like, what? No, not.
No, it's just, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's another thing that I feel like a lot of people do. I see a lot of people post that, and not just post that, but it's been like conversations in the past and stuff where people feel like they have this real deadline. And I get it. You are getting older, so you do want to accomplish a certain amount of things by a certain age. Or even then, we might not even realize that, like I said in another episode about social media, making comparisons. And I think I said it earlier in this episode, you do kind of end up comparing a little bit. Like you see people with certain stuff or doing certain stuff at a certain age. You're like, damn, I want to be doing that too. Or I feel like I need to be doing that, or I need to be at that level. But it's like, man, it can happen at any time. Somebody posted a picture yesterday talking about actors that got their late start. And it's so many actors that started late, and we're like, damn, you would have thought like they've been successful for so long, and they really got started late. Like Morgan Freeman, I think no. I think Morgan Freeman did start late. I don't think he was really that young. I think Morgan Freeman started like when he was around 40.
Oh wow.
And then I think like Samuel L. Jackson, he started late also. First thing I ever saw him in was Coming to America back in the movie came out in 1988. I didn't see it in 1988.
Was that his first role? Because he had a very short role there. Yeah, he was the robber, right?
Yeah, he was the robber. And then also he was in Jungle Fever, but I think Jungle Fever was after that.
Yeah, I think that was after too. I really don't remember Jungle Fever.
And there was just like, it was showing, it was like a collage showing different actors and stuff that started late. And they're like really successful now and everything. And, you know, they're some of the biggest actors on the planet. And it's just like, damn, you didn't even know that. You didn't even think about that. And here we are like putting, you know, this strain on ourselves thinking we have to do it by that age. And, you know, you have to think about it also. A lot of these people that did start late, they started at a different time. Mm-hmm. Now it's some people that one year we didn't know who they were, and the next year they're famous and successful as hell. Mm-hmm. But there is a difference, of course. You can't just say famous, because you can be famous and you ain't got no damn money. Mm-mm. So, you know, I'm talking about they're really doing successful stuff. Yeah. So like even on the podcast that I was watching, the Nelk Boys on, you know, the Full Sin podcast, they had Shaq on there. And Shaq was just talking about his life, but also they had the guy from, you know, he does Instagram videos and all the different stuff. His name is Drewski. You probably seen Drewski before. And Drewski was basically talking about, they asked him, Shaq asked him. Shaq was doing so good at asking these questions, you know, because he was really like, I guess his son knows Drewski or whatever, and he was like really interested in how everybody started. So Shaq was like, yo, like, what were you doing before this? And he was like, honestly, he was like, I wasn't doing nothing. Like, he was like, Drewski was like, I didn't think my life was going nowhere. He was like, and then one day he was just like, man, I'm funny. Like, maybe I should start doing something. Mm-hmm. And now he's doing shows with celebrities and stuff, and not like little shows. Like, he's doing actual shows. You know, he's getting big brand deals and all this different stuff. And it's just crazy. And Shaq even told him, like, dude, when the podcast ended, he was like, yo, hit me up. Like, I want to try to do some stuff with you. And we know Shaq is doing everything.
Yeah, he got his hand on a lot
businesses.
Yeah, he does.
So it's like, dude, that even opened another door for Drewski. So it's just so much stuff that you can do these days. And, you know, even if you're at a certain age or, you know, a certain point, you can always push it to another direction. Like I said, and it doesn't even just have to do with entertainment. Like for you, like I understand, like we do this stuff, the podcast, and then you're in my YouTube videos and stuff. But one thing, I don't want you to feel like you just have to stick with that stuff, because of course you have your own stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, and I don't feel that feeling from you. Like I already told you, like I'm gonna still do my own thing. Yeah, I will still support you, but I'm just doing this basically to support you. This is your thing. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind being pushed to get out of my comfort zone, because this is like nowhere near my comfort zone at all.
Yeah. But you've gotten very good at it.
Used to it. Thank you. And but yeah, like that's another thing that I love about you. I love that your mind is very creative and you come up with so many different things. And it is honestly inspirational for me, because it's like, okay, well, I don't have to stay within this box. I could branch out and think about doing this and still have like a main focus or a main goal on one thing, and then just, well, pick this up and do this as a hobby. If I got a little downtime, just do this or whatever, but still make sure the main thing is taken care of, and then just, all right, I got a little spare time, let me go and focus on my hobbies or whatever the case may be. Because like I would love for this to take off for you, and like I tell you all the time, it will take off for you. You're doing everything, you're dedicated, you're motivated, you're on top of it, so it will take off for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, I just feel like with us, that's where we have our differences at, but it doesn't make it an issue for us. Like I want to stay with the 9 to 5, even though I hate it and I'm always complaining about it, but I still want to stay with it because it's kind of like what I know, and I kind of feel a little bit more secure with it. Yeah. And I know that you don't want it. So, and then that'll be good. Like you could be at home or whatever, doing your stuff, and I could be at work, and that could be our time apart. Then when we come together, it'll be like, oh, I missed you and stuff like that, instead of us just being up under each other all day, which is not a bad thing, but still I feel like you do need that type of space alone, so that way your mind can really start to think. Because I come up with some topics for the podcast, but then you'll say like, oh, I got this, I got that. And I'll be like, damn, that's okay. Let me put my little topics away. We gonna go with these.
But no, like that's good too. Shoot. Like, because what I sent you today about different topics and stuff, that was just something that I came up with and I just had sitting in my notes.
Because a lot of them on there we did already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that was just even in just regular conversation.
Because sometimes, the conversations we be having when I'm on break, or when you on break and I call you, or we just talking on the phone, like those conversations be good podcast topics.
Yeah.
It just be like, just like today with the whole schooling thing, and I was just so annoyed and irritated. Like, I'm almost there. Like, why, Lord, why?
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to really stick to all of this stuff and just push with it. Like, you know what I mean? So when you ever have ideas, it's never like I'm shutting them down or anything. It's just like, maybe I should just add those to my notes also.
No, I know you're not whatever. I know you're not shutting me down. It's just, I guess, how you word the topic versus how I word it. It's kind of like, oh, okay, damn, I like that one better. Like, yeah, It's not like I'm giving you like, hey, let's talk about this. And you like, nah, I don't want to talk about that shit.
Cut it out. Yeah, no, it's not like that. It's just like, I'm always open to those ideas because, like I said, one reason why I really wanted this podcast to change is because before, I was kind of sticking to a format a little more because it was just me talking. But I felt like it was so boring because, and maybe people didn't find it boring, but it was just like, it was only my input. It wasn't anybody else's input, nobody else sharing their thoughts on different things. And I feel like if you have more people on the podcast, you're getting more, more input and just more of a good conversation. Yeah. And I feel like every great podcast has that. Now, there's some people that have solo podcasts, and I haven't really heard any other people's solo podcasts. But when I was looking all this stuff up about how to podcast, it showed that a lot of people were doing solo podcasts. But I was just like, yeah, no, I mean, it's cool, but at the same time.
Maybe I think the podcast that's solo, that's considered a podcast, right? Where they be like the guy that you watch that talks about the YouTube news and stuff like that. Is that considered a podcast?
In a way, I guess so. So she's talking about Keemstar on YouTube, and Keemstar has like a drama channel or whatever. And he's kind of, he just talks to the camera, but at the same time, if you were to just put it into like an audio form, I guess that could be a solo podcast. But yeah, I guess that is one. So,
and then if it is like it's a drama, everybody, I love me some drama.
Everybody loves that.
I love all my drama shows. I ain't got no more to watch. I gotta wait till next year. But I think that's what it is too. Maybe we should have a drama episode.
Man, there's so many people that on here. Yeah. We can. Like I said in the past, I've talked about, the thing with Gary Owen and different stuff. But yeah, it's so many different drama channels or the podcasts that really get into drama, or they're a little bit more explicit. Like, we can do more explicit stuff because, we are adults, and there's all kind of crazy stuff that we've experienced up until this point.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I had to cough. But yeah, you know what I mean? We can get into a whole bunch of different type of topics to change stuff and make stuff more interesting. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a problem with changing the way things are, getting into more, crazier adult conversations. At the same time, still keep this as a positive thing, because we're always still gonna promote the positivity and talk to y'all and basically express like how we feel, or just our mindset or opinion on certain things. And yeah, like even when I talk about some of the stuff that happens on social media, and sometimes it might seem like a little rant or something, but at the same time, it's me sharing my opinion. And that's why a lot of times I tell you guys to, hit me on my socials, let me know how you guys feel about the episode, because I want to know your opinions. Most of the time, pretty much all the time, it's not me bashing whatever. It's me really trying to understand certain stuff, because it is out of the norm of how I would think. You know what I mean? Or something that I would do. So it's like, oh, okay, like, what the hell? Like, I'm trying to understand why y'all think that this is okay or not okay or whatever. And it just makes a good conversation. That's pretty much what everything is. Just trying to build a good conversation and a good podcast, because that's what a good podcast is. A very good conversation.
Yes.
So, yeah, I honestly want everything to grow. And I love the fact that you do get out of your comfort zone and everything. And I know, like, you remember, like I said in the other podcast episode, like when we first met, I was like, how am I going to tell her that I do this YouTube stuff? He just whipped out
with a big old camera.
You sound like you was going to say something else. But, why you laugh like that, though? No, I'm just playing. But, yeah, like, I was just like, man, I want to just, like, put this camera all in her face and everything,
like, our first date, I sure didn't get that vibe from you at all. Well, not saying, like, you was going to just be on your phone the whole time. It didn't seem like
I was as outgoing, I guess?
No, not outgoing. Well, it was the first date.
Well, yeah,
but, I mean, like, even the first time you hung out at my other place with my friends and everything, I still didn't get like, oh, I'm a vlogger from you. And I don't know what that would feel like. I kind of figured like you would be on your phone more. Then once you got a little bit more comfortable, you was like just bringing out your camera. And I was just like, damn, what the hell? That's why I started calling it Gidget Gadgets. Oh. I started Inspector Gadget. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, he got all this camera stuff. Like, and then I noticed, like, you was really, like, interested in it or invested in it and you wanted to like move forward with it, and that's why I got you that backpack, the camera bag, so you can have it all organized, because it was just like in a duffel bag, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. You need to just whip it out, put it together, and shoot. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It ain't like you got like some weird thing or
no, we ain't doing no weird stuff,
right? No, it's totally fine, and you're really good at it, especially like with your photography and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're really good at that.
Thank you.
So yeah, like I keep telling you, just keep pushing forward, keep doing what you're doing, and shoot, it's gonna take off. You get a lot of good feedback because I'll be watching, because I got to keep my eye on your comments.
There ain't nobody in there leaving no crazy comments.
But yeah, I mean, you get a lot of good feedback. Everybody that I told to watch it, they like it, they subscribe to it. They said that we'd go so well together, and I'd be like, for real? I be feeling like I'm just so awkward. I don't know what to do. I'm not used to a camera on me.
No, you're good. You're good, and I like it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, adding to it,
even
it makes
people
it
at
better.
work, they be like, just like the little stories and stuff that I post like here and there. Like, I really don't even post on like my social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I do post stuff, like if it's you and I, we'll be out, and I'll go to work and then see somebody, and I'll be like, damn, I do got some people here at work on my Instagram. And then they'll be like, oh, I just love to see you and your boyfriend together. You guys are so cute. And I'll be like, what? How you know? But yeah. So we do get a lot of good feedback, and it's kind of good to see that. I mean, get that, because honestly, I just be thinking like, I don't know. I just be like, well, I'm just gonna be me. This is me.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, for me, definitely, there's a lot of YouTubers that put on this different, like, actor persona or something like that. And then when they finally get burnt out from that, they end up saying, like, dude, this ain't really me. You know what I mean? There's been so many YouTubers that have been, like, when they're out in public and people walk up to them, they expect them to be this crazy person that they are in their videos, and they're like, nah, I'm just chill. Like, I don't really, I don't be loud like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I can understand that, because people get that way with movies, and when the person played a role and they play it too well.
Yeah, they start thinking that person is really that character.
Hell yeah. Didn't Tariq from Power, wasn't he saying that he was
yeah, he said everybody kept thinking he was Tariq. I forget what his real name is.
I don't even know, but I will be like, hey, Tariq, oh my God, I don't know your name. But
yeah, they keep thinking he's that character. And it was funny because I remember a long time ago, the dude that played Debo, Tiny
Lester.
Yeah, I saw him at the mall. And people was really acting like he was really Debo.
And
I
was super
just like,
chill. He is so chill.
I was like, he don't even seem like that.
No, he don't.
He's like, laughing all the time and all kind of stuff.
Complete opposite of a Debo.
Yeah,
he's like a big teddy bear, honestly.
But some people just expect that, and they're like, they're shocked when they end up finding out that these people are a little bit different.
And if I was an actor, I would take that as a huge compliment. Like when I watch movies and shows and I hate the person, and I just want them to like the show we just finished watching, The Strain.
Oh, The Strain, yeah.
And the boy, what was his name?
Oh yeah, his son,
Zach.
Couldn't
stand Zach. Hated Zach.
Couldn't stand Zach.
Second season, they changed Zach. And I was like, that's not the right boy. And I was like, he's giving me Carl from The Walking Dead vibes. I'm not going to like him. Hated the boy ever since season 2.
Yeah, the whole show.
I was
4 seasons.
Yeah.
Season 2 starts.
He was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, not to say it like that, but I was just like, oh my God, when are they something's going to happen to this boy?
Yeah,
But
man.
he was just so good of an actor to the point where I just really hated his character because he played it too well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, if I was to see him, I'd be like, why would you do that?
It was just a role, man. It was a role.
Like, let me talk to you for a minute.
Don't trust him.
Right.
Get him out of here. Man, like the lady that played on Selena that killed Selena. I was like,
God.
bruh. And I saw her in another movie that's an older movie, and she was a shady lady in that. It was when she was younger. It was an old gang movie called Blood In, Blood Out. And she was in there, like, just in a small part.
Well, I think I saw
You probably have.
Yeah.
It's been out for a long time. But, you know, she was kind of shady in that. And I was just like, that's the lady that killed Selena.
Selena, yeah.
And just the actress, but, like, for real, you don't trust her.
I ain't gonna kill Selena like that.
Don't trust her at all.
Hell to the no.
But, yeah, man, like, you just want to have some good content that people could really love. And, you know, do it really well. And that's all you want to do. Like, even with, like, you know, since I have, like, the clothing stuff that I have on the website. And if you guys want to check it out, is whoiskd/merch. whoiskd.com/merch.
You better promote your stuff.
Even with that stuff, I want to get some stuff, and because they even have a way that you can buy everything that you sell. But of course, I have like so much different stuff on there. I ain't gonna buy all at once. But like, you can buy the stuff that you sell, and it's like called something. I forgot what they call it, some type of bundle or whatever. And basically, you know, you could take that stuff and wear it and go out and have photo shoots, and that's some stuff that I kind of want to do to promote it a little bit more, because I don't really ever post. Like, I might show like a little picture of some stuff, you know, when I get it made, but at the same time, having she just me out. Did she yawn?
I don't know what the hell she did.
Oh, and then just laid back down. But yeah, like, you know, I would want to do that. Like, you know, there's so many nice places, you know, get some of this merch stuff and have this photo shoot where I can actually show this stuff, you know, edit the pictures, make it look very nice, and then, you know, just post it just like how any other clothing brand, you know, markets their clothes. And, you know, you have a good picture, you have, you know, nice detail stuff, nice product or whatever, and that'll really make people be like, oh, okay, that looks nice, better than just shooting a picture of it. Like, I might do it and it's like the shirt's on my bed and I just take a picture of it, and it's like not really a nice picture. I try to make it look as nice as I can, but if I were to really use my good camera and do it and have it look more professional, then people could take it more seriously.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, so that was something that I was thinking about, because I was like, man, like, I really don't. I have all of this clothing stuff, and it's not like I'm like really selling it or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, to push it to the next level, just thinking of different ways with everything, and trying to make it good. So I feel like I do have to not just look at it as, oh, this is something that I'm doing, but make it look more professional, I guess. Because that's when people will end up taking it more seriously, when it looks more professional. Even like other brands, there's a brand called Hypeland, and they sell Hypeland stuff in different stores now. It's a black kid. I watched his interview, and you know, he basically like collabs with anime companies. He does Dragon Ball stuff. He does Inuyasha stuff. He has some stuff from Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, just a whole bunch of different animes. And then he makes the clothing. They put it out, of course. And he has a big brand now. You know what I mean? They're not just selling shirts. They're selling pants. They're selling like, they got stickers. They got actual customized rugs of these anime characters. Just a lot of really, really dope stuff. And so many people are into Hypeland. Back when I watched his interview, it wasn't as big. So it's crazy seeing it now, and it's just like, damn, like that's great seeing something grow so much. And like I said, if anybody's creating anything, sticking with it and really trying to have a plan, and like I said in the beginning, I don't like to compare, but maybe it's good to compare so you know what level you need to put your stuff on. You know what I mean? And that's just really what I feel like I need to fix is, you know, maybe comparing a little bit more, becoming more competitive, and really believing more in what I put out or what I record or anything like that, so I can have, you know, better quality stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it and compare, and not let it But if you feel like, okay, for the listeners, if you feel like you're the type of person that compare to the point where you just gonna become very, what's the word I'm looking for? Depressed or down, or start to what's the word?
Doubt yourself.
Self-doubt yourself, yeah. Well, be very cautious with comparing other people's stuff, because you don't want to,
Yeah, use the comparison as motivation. Not as like,
as far as
I'm defeated.
Right.
Like, my stuff isn't on their
like
level.
you're the same age as me. Why are you there and I'm not? Don't do that. Just look at it as, okay, well, all right, well, compare to just see like, okay, well, you did this, so maybe if I try to tweak it a little bit and do it like the way you did, then we'll see how that comes also. Yeah.
So that's like even in with the YouTubers I do watch. So like with David Dobrik, if you look at Logan Paul, Jake Paul, if you look at King Batch when he was doing a whole bunch of YouTube stuff, or a bunch of other YouTubers, even like the girl I watch, Alicia Marie, they all have a lot of people in their videos. And since they have a lot of people in those videos, each person is just like a character in those videos. When you're looking at it, they're all being themselves, but at the same time, it's a lot of people in their videos, and it's so much more. So it's like it's working out a little bit different from them. Like we're not hanging out with this big ass entourage of people. No. I mean, I'm not saying they hang out with a lot of people. They normally have the same amount of people in there, but sometimes they have more people in their videos, so it works out a little bit different. You have to find out what works for you and put out that content. It still can be interesting. So in certain ways, you can't compare fully because you're not in the same exact situation as them. And if you're doing stuff and it's like it's by yourself or just a couple of people or something, just try to make it as interesting as you can. And that's what I always try to do. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like I feel like I need to switch it up, do something different. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I want us to kind of just do like a day where we kind of go out somewhere and experience certain stuff that we haven't experienced.
I've been wanting to do that too, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I can't even think about it. I mean, we can one day, but
why you laugh?
You said it like, let's do it next week. But just doing different stuff and try to make everything interesting, and that's my main thing. I want you guys to really like it. Because it's not just like I'm putting something out. This is something that I'm creating. And of course, if you guys are any type of creatives or anything like that, it is so good when people love what you put out. You know what I mean? You're happy when people enjoy it, when people look at it. And when people tell me sometimes, they're like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. Like, you know what I mean? Or it's like, it's not like I'm saying like, oh, you whack, you know what I mean? Or you're not creative or anything like that. I do take it as a compliment. Like, it's like, oh, okay, so you guys like the content. And sometimes people are like, doesn't that take a long time? And it's like, yeah, sometimes it can. But you guys at least notice that I'm putting in whatever work and seeing how things are, and you guys appreciate it. So I always love that type of stuff. It's good. And one thing like I feel like I do like doing is trying to incorporate people in what I do, because if we're cool, it's like, yeah, I want to bring you into it and we can make all of this interesting. And it changes from just being something that I'm creating to something that we're all creating. Yeah. And it's like at the same time, you're building these memories and it's different stuff that, life, that's one of the main things in life is building those memories, having those moments, having those memories and thinking about it years from now or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And just building more, you have this one experience, this one life, and you have to really make the best of it. So that's why I feel like it's so interesting doing this stuff and trying to try different things, like, doing YouTube and making these videos, or, I do my gaming content also, but that's just me playing the game, but I'm still experiencing this stuff for the first time while I'm doing the streams for these games. But mainly for like doing the actual YouTube videos that I'm shooting with the camera, recording and all this different stuff and editing. That's something that's great. I'm really creating that doing the podcast, that's something great. When I'm putting out, the clothing stuff, that's something great too, because, I'm not just stealing design from people. This is stuff that I have to come up with. And yeah, it's just something that's great. I like trying to do all that different type of stuff.
Yeah. And you do a good job. You know what I think we should do since we got these microphones? What is it, an ASMR?
Oh, when we eat, because we were talking about eating some crab legs and stuff. And man, people love seeing that.
Hell yeah. So what we could do is we could have the camera so they can see us eat. And we could just have like one microphone set up so we could just get next to it and do the little. But you be smacking, so you got to make sure it's really low. I don't smack. I eat. I have etiquette.
You be eating anything. It sounds like you chewing on some steak or something. I was like, damn.
I don't even eat steak, so that's
you don't eat steak, but the sound.
No, because I eat my steaks medium well.
What does that mean? You still chewing loud?
No, I don't, because it's not as tough, so I ain't got to be...
Oh, do all that work.
Right. See? You and these rough steaks, you don't even know how to have a proper steak.
Yes, I do. You made the steak the last time.
I know, and I said that, but it wasn't like...
No, it was good. I liked it.
Thank you. Because I was about to say I was going to make you some more, but now you didn't...
Hopefully I didn't mess that up, y'all. But yeah, man, like hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode with just us talking about, certain goals, and maybe it'll make you guys think about certain goals that you guys have or where you want to be. And it might not be the same type of stuff that we were talking about, but still something that you want to do, that you want to push more onto or whatever. And also think about, like, I guess what your weaknesses are or stuff that you want to improve to push forward with that.
Ooh, that's a good one. What are your what would you say is your weakness? I was about to say weaknesses.
No, that's what I was saying. We're trying to be more competitive and trying to, you know what I mean? I think we kind of started off with that first a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, like that's some things like I feel like I need to improve if I want this stuff to go to the next level. Like I said, with the clothing, doing those photo shoots or creating like, little trailers or videos for the clothing, kind of showing stuff off, because I feel like I'm good with creating the video stuff or taking these pictures. It's just I really need to get out there and do it and make it, and then, edit these pictures and put them out so people can take the clothing stuff more seriously. And then with the YouTube stuff, not second guess myself so much on the content and just make content, even if I'm just recording anything. And just still trying to put it out there and make it as interesting as I can. And sometimes I'm really trying to hit like a 10-minute mark, and maybe I don't even need to hit that 10-minute mark. Maybe I just need to put out what I have. Anything can work. Anything is creating. And that's really what I want to do. I want to create anything. I want to put it out. I want you guys to enjoy it. And that's what this is all about. It's not just for me. Like, it is for me because I like creating, but at the same time, it's for you guys to enjoy, and I hope you guys do enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah. Same with this podcast and everything. So, yeah, for both of us, I think it's safe to say, like, we are going to be working on ourselves and trying to be more successful in whatever we're trying to do and push ourselves more. It's something that you constantly have to tell yourself, because there's going to be days where you're going to doubt yourself, or you're going to want to give up, or you're just going to want to relax, or you know what I mean, just whatever. And it's like, man, you could really be creating stuff, so many people that are successful say there is no off days, you know what I mean? I still need some off days.
Hell
need
yeah.
some time to relax,
I don't want
but
that
still,
type of success. Like,
at the same time, if you're creating a cool amount, you can kind of set your off days and different stuff like that.
Because what's the point of being successful if you can't enjoy life? I want to be successful. But you see these
successful people enjoying life.
Oh, yeah. Because I want to be successful to... Oh, that's a good way to end it.
What?
When you why do you want to become successful outside of the main reasons?
Okay. For me, the reason I want to be successful is because, I want to, and I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, dude, it would be so nice to be, when we were watching the movie, I was like, it would be so nice to get to a point where you can just travel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can, in the movie, they went to Mexico and they were just going out and doing all this different stuff, experiencing a whole bunch of different stuff. And, for some people, it's not really that big of a deal, but imagine being able to just take time off and just be like, all right, cool, I'm going to just do whatever. And like, people go on vacations all the time, but being really financially secure to the point where you ain't got to worry about nothing. You just like, oh, let's just go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or looking at like, sometimes I look at like stuff that Diddy does on social media and I'm like, man, that fool be looking like he's living life.
Yeah.
Like, he's still doing his music stuff. And of course he puts in that hard work, but at the same time, you see him so much just enjoying life on trips, or he got people at his house during a party, or just anything that's like, oh, okay, this don't really seem like a lot of work. It is, but you're putting in so much work to the point where you can take that time off and really enjoy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to that level, and a reason why I wanted to be successful is because this is stuff that I'm building. Like some people were like, oh, I want to give this to my kids and stuff. I don't want to sit there and say that, because what if my kids ain't interested in it? If they are interested in it, that's cool. But I don't want to say that and you know what I mean, they're not interested in it. Then I'm over here mad, like, why you don't want to do this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to be honest, it's just, something that I want to build because, one, it makes me happy. One, I want you guys to look at it and be like, years from now, I'm like, man, I remember that. Like, that was dope. You know what I mean? It becomes like this nostalgic feeling. Or if it's still going on, you guys are still enjoying it and you guys are still looking at it as a great thing. And I can look back on it and say, like, it was a great thing. And like I said, if my kids are interested in it or whatever, then they can hop on and then, take on from there. It's just, it's interesting. You know what I mean? I always looked at life, and I would always say, like, when I saw people that were just like, some people, they major in certain stuff in college, or I look at some people, they're like, oh yeah, I just want to do this job. And it's just like a regular 9 to 5. And I was like, really? That was your dream? Like to do just that 9 to 5? And I'm not knocking people that do want to do that stuff. If you're really interested in it, you're really interested in it. Cause like I said, everybody doesn't want to get into, I guess, what this is called, like, entertainment. Mm-hmm. So, sometimes they do just want that 9 to 5. But at the same time, like, for me, I feel like I want my life to be more than just that. Like, I don't want to have to keep going to work and dealing with people I feel like in certain situations I'm probably smarter than, or I can work better than these people. And you know what I mean? And not just really calling them stupid, but it's just like, dude, you want to build your own stuff. You want to have your own. And that's what I want to do. I want to have stuff that's going to be remembered. Mm-hmm. And that's my main reason for doing all of this stuff. Because, it's a ton of people that don't share their life. Or, like, people don't even realize, like on social media, they go live or they record these videos and post it to their story. Mm-hmm. Or they might post it to their Instagram. It's like, bro, you don't even realize, like, you guys are kind of doing vlogging stuff already. But it's not big and structured like where they're really having to go and edit these videos. But still, so many people are doing it, and that's why it's so competitive, and that's why I feel like I need to be more competitive now.
Oh, I got you now.
To be like, oh, okay, if I want to be above all of that, I have to be more competitive. Mm-hmm. And not competitive with, people that I feel like that are on my, but be competitive with the big people. Mm-hmm. And be like, cool, all right, I can get to that. And that was another thing Shaq was saying. Shaq was saying when he was playing basketball, he looked at the basketball players above him that came before him, and even like Michael Jordan and stuff. And he was saying that he would literally look at them and see how they were living life and was like, I want that. So I have to work for it. You know what I mean? And that's what really had me thinking about the competitive stuff, and also with the Jake Paul stuff that I watched. But mainly the Shaq thing that I was watching the other night. I was just like, damn, like I never really, I mean, you know, you look at athletes and you're like, normally they are competitive, but I don't really compare my life to other people's lives like that. Like maybe a little bit, you know, like, oh, they got a dope car. Like, yeah, I would want that.
Yeah, same.
But I don't really dig into it and be like, nah, I'm getting there. Right. Like I'm getting to that level because that person's at that level and I want to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? But he said that's what really drove him in his early years of doing, you know, of playing sports. And not just playing sports, but then when he started opening businesses and different stuff like that, he was just like, oh, these other people have a business? He was like, oh, I want that. Right. And then he went and just did it. And it was just like, damn, it was like, yo, that's dope as hell to have your mindset like that. And I don't know, man. Even with the book I was listening to, The 48 Laws of Power, that's cool, man. I like that book. It just, certain parts of the book is kind of shady because it's kind of like, it tells you to do whatever to become successful, even if you got to step on people's toes and like, you know, trick people and all that stuff. I ain't trying to trick people or step on other people's toes, but it also teaches you how to be more competitive and really go after whatever it is to be remembered, to be great and all that different stuff. So this is stuff that I do have to apply. I did enjoy the book, even though some stuff I felt like was kind of shady, but still at the same time, taking those good parts of being like growing and really building stuff and being like, this is my life and I can make it as successful as I want it to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my answer. That was a long ass answer, but that was my answer on why I would want all this stuff to be successful or want me to be successful. And it's not even like, you know, I get it as far as entertainment. You kind of have to become famous. You know what I mean? Especially for what I'm doing, which is like I'm not only the person that's editing these videos, I'm the person that's on camera also. Same with the podcast. I'm not just an engineer that's, you know, doing the computer stuff or, you know, doing the sound and all that different stuff. I'm the voice that's also on here. So it's like, I think if this grows, of course, it will have to come with fame. But I don't really want that crazy fame where it's like people are acting wild and crazy and all that different stuff. Yeah. Well, you got like these, I don't mind fans. I don't mind people admiring what I do. But I don't want people to be wild and shit. I don't want nobody in my house, like breaking in my house and they sleep on the couch and shit. Yeah, nah, you don't want anything like that. And that just made me think of, like, I didn't have anything crazy like that. But I remember, like, a long time ago when Instagram first came out and people just started doing, like, well, you know, people started creating memes a lot. I was making so many damn memes, and it was this girl that followed me because it wasn't Instagram that I have now, because I think my first Instagram, it got deleted. But yeah, like it was called. I was posting so many memes, and it was this girl that was like, I literally share your memes everywhere. And I was like, really? And then she was like, yeah, I share them with my friends, and they share them too. And I was just like, I didn't know who this person was. You know what I mean? And then it got to the point where I had seen some of the memes that I created, like just circulating around. And I was like, oh, damn. But I just didn't really stick to, you know, constantly doing memes because I started doing so many other different things. But still, it was like, you never know. Like, I didn't know that I don't know who this person was. It was just somebody that was following me. And the fact that they commented that and said that, and then they were talking about, like, you know, they tagged me and stuff that they were sharing. That was my stuff that I created, you know? So it was a good feeling. It was like, damn, you really like it like that? Like, sometimes I'm just sitting there like, oh, I'll just try to make something funny or whatever. You know, you just try to create something. You don't really think that much of it. And that was just with memes, you know what I mean? So this bigger content being the podcast and videos and stuff, that's what I really want y'all to notice. And the clothing and all that different stuff, you know. And even with the clothing, trying to figure out, you know, if I want to go the route of how I'm doing stuff now with, using Streamlabs, because that's pretty much what it's through. It's through Streamlabs. But at the same time, I could have it to the point where if this stuff gets big enough, I could really start printing everything, buying the clothes wholesale, placing it on these, products myself, and then selling it that way. The only issue is I would have to just hold the products myself instead of just having people order from a website.
And then you have to ship it out.
Yeah, but I know some people that are doing it that way, but they never tried the route of Streamlabs, so they don't know how to compare which one is, easier or better or whatever. But still, either way, it's like just all about trying to figure this stuff out and trying to get to a point where, you want to get to. So I'm figuring it out too, and this is just stuff that I'm interested in. So that's pretty much it. That's why I want all this stuff to grow and, be successful with all of it. Just keep it going and really don't get discouraged and keep pushing on and trying to make all of this stuff a big ass brand that you guys will remember for years and years and years. And don't let anything really stop me or get in my way from that goal. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. It's a goal. When people place goals, you're supposed to put your mind to it and get there.
Yep.
So that's what I want to do. I guess I need to be, the word is more disciplined in all of that and see the success come in. You know what I mean? But not just for me, dude. You guys can do it also. Anybody could do it because, like I said, all of these celebrities that you see now have all started at a lower point and have just built up to what they are now and can even build up to be bigger than what they are now. So, we can all do it. Even if we got little obstacles or whatever, you can still get to that point.
Yes, Lord.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. If you guys did, please let me know because I'm going to post a video on YouTube. You guys can leave the comment there. You guys can follow our socials. My Twitter is who_is_KD, 2 underscores. My Instagram is It's King KD. And if you want to check me out on my Facebook page, it's whoiskd. Just check all of that out. If you want to check out my merch also, it's whoiskd.com/merch. And yeah, that's just me plugging my stuff, I guess. You know what I mean? So you guys can check it out because I know on Spotify and different stuff like that, you won't be able to really go and search through everything or click on the link or whatever like that, or even leave comments. So if you guys want to leave comments, hit me up on my Instagram, Twitter, or on the YouTube. Thank you for watching. My YouTube is whoiskd. I didn't say that, but yeah. Thank you for listening. I said thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You guys stay dope, and we will check you out later. Did you want to say your socials?
Oh, my social is just_Cheryl with the C 27.
Okay. That's our Instagram.
Yes, that's my IG.
So thank you for listening. You guys stay dope. You guys stay positive. Keep pushing for everything, and we'll check you out later. Peace.
Peace.